Tonight's broadcast is about to begin. Thank you for joining us on Cedar Creek Media.
This is JD Byrd. You are listening to Mabank Sports here on Cedar Creek Media.
It's showtime!
And welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Mabank Athletics right here on the Mabank Athletics YouTube page, presented by Cedar Creek Media. For Cedar Creek Media, I'm Taylor Honea.
And I'm JD Byrd.
And we are happy to be here with you tonight from the home of the Vandals, Van High School in Van, Texas. And we have got a good one tonight, JD. It is the 18-10 overall Van Vandals hosting the 14-7 overall Mabank Panthers. It is a fight for district supremacy, or not district supremacy, but keeping that spot in the district. But it looks like they are ready to do the starting lineup, so let's go ahead and turn it over to the stadium announcer, JD.
And now, starting lineup for your Van Vandals. At guard, 5'10" junior, number 10, Weston Parker. At guard, 6' sophomore, number 0, Wally Hitch. At guard, 6' senior, number 3, Easton Hitch. At forward, 6'4" senior, number 2, Caden Rowe. And at center, 6'6" senior, number 33, Andrew Flower. The Vandals coached by head coach
All right, so there it is, the starting lineups, in case you couldn't hear, for your Mabank Panthers. Number 0, Dalen Gibbs. Number 1, Ty Perkins. Number 3, Luke Carter. Number 4, Carter Sims. And number 24, Caden Penland. Over on the other end, number 1, Raleigh Hinch. Got something to say about him here in just a second. Number 2, Caden Rowe. Number 3, Easton Hinch. Number 5, Weston Proctor. And number 33, Andrew Flotter. Now, if you remember, JD, Raleigh Hinch had himself, I'd say, a career day against the Mabank Panthers in that first one. Was just draining everything, especially in the first half. A couple of really tough moves that we saw him make. So it looks like Coach wanting to go ahead and get him out early on the court, as he was not one of their starters in the first ball game.
Well, you know, when you have a game like that against a team, you might as well see if it was just a fluke type thing. You know, press the luck against it, as right here we get to the action.
And it is going to be the Vandals winning the tip, so they will get the first shot on O here. So they're going to work it around the three-point line to start with. Carter Sims out playing some good defense. Looks like Mabank is going to be in their traditional zone set here. Is still working it around are the Vandals. Really not finding any space to attack quite yet. It's a nice little move on the inside. Left-handed float was no good, but Van able to collect their own miss. That was number 2, Caden Rowe, that had the miss. Almost a carry there. And Carter going to come away with it, pass it up to Sims. Sims, nice little step beside. Oh, can't get the finish, but that would have been on every highlight reel we had from now till eternity if that would have gone in for Carter Sims. But ball does end up out of bounds and will be in the possession of the Panthers here. Going to be Perkins doing the inbounding. Trying to find somewhere to get it to. Had to toss it out deep to Sims. Sims with a nice little move. Going to feed it over to Perk. Perk with that high hop into the paint. Working a little two-man game now. Back over to Gibbs. Luke Carter. Carter Sims now. Now Perk going to work it. Slow things down here. dives to his right. Nice little inside pass to Penland. Elbow shot off the glass. The bank is open, Mr. JD.
Absolutely, as Mr. Penland going to get himself on the board here early.
All right, so here are the Hinches working it back and forth now. That is that was not a Hinch. Number 2 is not a Hinch. That one is number 3. He's going to dive in and actually get called for the travel. So, yeah, Easton Hinch, number 3, and Raleigh Hinch, the Hinch brothers. They were definitely a thorn in the side, so want to make sure you attack them defensively early and often. Now here is Luke Carter with a nice little pass inside to Gibbs. Gibbs tried to split but has to give back up to Luke. Luke sends it across to Sims, gets over to Penland, and travel going to be called on Caden Penland. Didn't see it, but then again, I wasn't exactly looking at the feed either. So that is going to be Proctor bringing it up for the Vandals. Gives over to Raleigh. Raleigh trying to find somewhere to go. Kicks over to brother Easton. Easton trying to find somewhere. Now right back to Raleigh. Thought about a deep 3, but now has to give up to Flotter. Back to Hinch. And Proctor with it. Going to take a deep 3. No good. And going to be collected by the Vandals. And, I thought he was going to get it under the bucket, but he couldn't. And couple of follow-ups, and Van just cannot get it to go down. Still working with it, and Gibbs just smacks it out of bounds. So 3 shots at it there for the Vandals. A couple of different Vandals with the chance too, and just not able to capitalize. So great defense there by the Panthers.
Yeah, working nicely on the offensive boards. Unfortunately, just not able to get those second chance opportunities to fall.
No, sir. So Proctor and that is Rowe kind of working it back and forth. Rowe still with it. Now going to give up to Easton Hinch. Now back to Proctor. Proctor going to try and dive into the lane. Was cut off by Gibbs. Had to pass it back out. Now Flotter, the big man, with it out on the three-point line. Quickly got it away. Proctor trying to find somewhere to go. Feeds inside and tipped. But Van somehow able to keep it. So a lot of mistakes for Van, but it hadn't cost him quite yet, as the 3 is also off the backboard there. That was Weston Proctor able to score the points. Now Sims going to attack the other side. Passes out to Perk. Perk has it. Looked like it might have been a steal, but foul going to be called. Proctor going to get called for the push. So going to be Luke inbounding. Luke going for the old school look tonight with the loose white cotton undershirt. As Perkins dribbling it around, feeds into Gibbs. Gibbs had his pass taken away. Was trying to make the extra pass just a little too much mustard. Flotter now with it, gonna dribble. Haven't seen him dribble much in the couple of games between these guys. Now Hinch going to dive in, thought about a 3, going to give up to Flotter for a deep 3, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul going to be called. So tough work inside for number 2, Caden Rowe. Is going to end up being fouled, and I believe, no, they're going to say it was on the floor. So you've got Proctor and Flotter coming out of the ball game. That's number 15, Cameron Jones. And I didn't see the other young man that came in. It was number 1, Austin Moffitt, that came in. And Moffitt bombs one on his first touch. It was no good. Now here comes Luke the other way. Passes up to Sims. Luke now with it again. Gives up to Perk. Perk going to put a floater up. No good. I think he was caught in between passing and shooting there. Didn't know exactly what he wanted to do with the ball and ends up out of bounds. So here is Moffitt going to bring it up. He had a pretty good game against Mabank in their first go-around. Now Hinch kicked it over to his brother Hinch. Now working around the outside here are the Vandals. Raleigh, nope. Pass ends up going over to Moffitt. Apologies. So again, Van really taking their time here, waiting to find their places to attack. Whenever they do try and go inside, it seems to be taken away. Last one there, as you saw, by Penland. Now here's Sims in the corner for the 3. Good! So Carter Sims gets himself going with the nice little corner 3 off a nice assist. Now Moffitt back the other way, gave up to Hinch. Hinch over to Jones. Jones has his shot blocked by Dalen. Woo! That was up close and personal right there. The camera's going to like that one.
I'm just saying, man, that scared the crud out of me. As I watched, his two faces started coming very close to this here camera.
Wish we had a VR camera for that. That would have been the ultimate experience there.
Man, it's in your house right there. Don't be watching in 3D, folks.
So Sims inbounded. Perkins has it, slowly gets it across the half-court line. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Luke had it, had his pass taken away as he tried to force it into Sims over on the other corner. Now here comes Moffitt, quick pass up, taken away by Gibbs. So Gibbs giving Jones all the smoke he wants here in the first quarter. Nicely done by Gibbs to redeflect, but Sims can't get the shot to go down. Second chance shot is going to be made there. Couldn't see who it was. It was Caden Penland on the putback. Sorry, it was blocked by a ref. Now here is a nice little dive inside. Can't be realized for Rose. Luke Carter going to have an open three off back iron and almost out of bounds, but Raleigh Hinch able to save it. Pass it over to Moffitt. Just at 2 minutes to go here. I apologize. I'm just realizing I don't have the scoreboard up there for you. There you go, folks. So a bit of a discussion of who will be in possession of the ball as Jaden Collin going to be subbing in for Perk. So it looks like it will go to the Panthers after a little bit of a hem-hawing back and forth. Jaden Collin going to be doing the setting up as he fed it over to Penland. Now to Carter. Nice speed into Penland. Oh! Can't get the end one to go. Rolled around. Will not go down, but that will be another foul. They're going to call that one on Flotter. So that will be the second team foul, first personal against Flotter, and 2 shots coming up here for Penland. First one is good.
Penland having himself a little bit of an offensive night tonight.
You know, he has those moments where he can really fill it up as he adds another one there. Soft touch. And again, he didn't play last year. Injury during his junior year, so did not get to play basketball. So he's done a really good job and has really rounded his way in during the season. Now here is Moffitt with the ball, going to get called for a travel, and that is going to go.
Double dribble right there.
Oh, double dribble, excuse me. And that was all Jaden Collin just getting into the head there of Moffitt. So it will be Luke Carter doing the inbounding. Jaden going to be bringing it up to set up the offense here. Feeds into Penland. Working around the three-point line. Going to turn around and hit it.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's only 2 as he had his foot on the line, but my goodness.
Caden Penland feeling himself tonight.
Yes, he is. 8 points here in the early going. And foul going to be called. I believe they're going to get Gibbs. They do, so just a little small push-off. That will be Dalen's first of the ball game. Second team foul. Fed into Flotter, and he gets the nice little float to go down over Penland. Closes the gap to 6. Under a minute to go here in this first quarter. Collin fed it into Penland, who is feeling it. Well, tried to go for the little scoop and score, no good. Couple of chances there for the Panthers, not able to get it to go down. And now Jones with it going back for the Vandals, and travel. So too many steps. It was a really nice finish by Jones, but negated by the penalty. 35 seconds to go as the good Reverend will be heading into the ball game. Get Penland a little break. So Collin with it. Going to be working with some space here. As it looks like no Vandals are going to come up to greet him. Now, Jaden is not a prolific three-point shooter, but he is definitely not a bad one. Now, that one's a lot better. Luke Carter. Fed into Neighbors, gets over to Colin. Colin trying to find somewhere to go, gets back to Luke. Luke trying to find some space. Fed into Gibbs in the corner. No good. From here, it looked pretty, but Gibbs gets it back. Oh, the runner, no good. So it is 11-5. Mabank taking control in the first quarter. We're going to take a short break. Come right back right after this here on Cedar Creek Media. Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
And back to it here, Taylor Honea.
JD Byrd.
It is a 11-5 advantage for your Mabank Panthers starting out the second quarter. Going to be El Capitan, Luke Carter, doing the inbounding. Tell me, that was the most nonchalant pass I have ever seen. That was just in and out of his hands immediately after the ref handed it to him.
Ain't no lollygagging from Mr. Luke Carter.
No, sir. So here is Carter Sims with it, going to be working from the top of the three-point line. Dove in, gets over to Colin, going to take a wide-open three. Well short, but oh, no, they're going to say foot was out of bounds when he first contacted the ball. So will be Van going the other way. It is all the same set on the court to start out the second quarter that we ended the first quarter with. Couple of Hinches, Flotter, Moffitt. Or no, excuse me. No, that is number 5. Proctor back out of the ball game as they get a feed inside, and that is an easy 2 points there for Caden Rowe, who is also out from the starting lineup. So Carter Sims with it now. Loses the ball, but able to keep it as Rev now with the ball in his hand, working around the three-point line. Not a comfortable spot for Rev. Tries to get the backdoor cut. Follows his pass, but not able to quite get it back up as now Proctor going to work with it. And Gibbs just picks his pocket. Goes the other way, working against 4 Vandals. And foul going to be called on the floor. Going to get number 0, Raleigh Hinch, for the foul. Caden Penland and Ty Perkins going to be coming back into the ball game. Jaden Collin and Rev Neighbors coming out for a little breather. So Perk trying to find somewhere to go with it. Gets it into Luke. Nice feed back inside to Perk. Gets to Gibbs. Gibbs open 3. Good. Nothing but the bottom for the senior Dalen Gibbs. Doubled them up now, 14-7, 6.5 to go here in the second quarter. Now here is Raleigh Hinch with it, gives over to Flotter. Flotter over to the other Hinch, going to have a wide open 3, hits front corner, well short. Going to be a jump ball, so good job there by Perk. Going up against the much larger Caden Rowe. Ties it up, possession arrow is with Van, I do believe. Don't actually see a possession arrow anywhere. Oh, it's over on their bench. But Mabank going to take it away. So here is Perk with it. Nice open feed to Luke Carter off front rim. No good. So Luke having a little bit of trouble getting the top off the bucket here. Van has the same problem over on the other end. That was, I believe, Rowe with that three-point shot from the corner. No good. There was a whistle.
Going to catch Perkins for a push, I believe.
Oh, okay, so that will be Perk's second of the ball game. First team foul of the second quarter for the men in green. Here is Hinch with it. Kicks down, nice feed into Rowe, but couldn't get anything out of it. Sims with it. Kicks over to Gibbs. Right back to Luke Carter. Carter over to Perk. Perk finds Penland with the Penland shuffle. How about double digits already for the senior Caden Penland?
He came to play tonight. What can we say?
I'm telling you, it was nice. I got to go out to the football banquet on Sunday and hear what the coaches had to say about him, and they just talked about the grit, the determination, the effort of young Master Penland, and you can see it. Again, his game has just sharpened up incredibly over the course of this season. Throughout the beginning of the year, of course, whenever Matt was still on the team, and not that Matt's not on the team. Unfortunately, Matt down with injury, Mr. Matthew Cruz. But Penland's role was much smaller on this team. But as time has gone on, he's gotten more comfortable. Coach Carter has gotten more comfortable with him. And now you are really starting to see the fruits of his labor here.
Absolutely. Shows you that hard work does indeed pay off, as they say.
So you got the same crew on the floor for your guys. It's Luke Carter, Dalen Gibbs, Carter Sims, Penland, and Perkins. As Van with it quickly down on the other end. This is Proctor trying to find somewhere to go, working off a double screen from Flotter and Rowe. Now Raleigh Hinch going to take a deep three, no good. And Flotter able to get the offensive rebound, gets it over to Proctor. Now back to Raleigh Hinch, who again thought about another deep three and has his pass taken away by Carter Sims. It was a lazy pass, and oh, come on. Oh, man, that was beautiful. But they get a travel on Sims. But, man, that was beautiful. Looked good, just won't count.
Carter Sims having the most beautiful moves that just didn't quite work out tonight, huh?
You know what I'm saying, man. It's a low-scoring affair so far here as well. 16-7. Deep into the second quarter here, almost halfway gone through the second quarter, as a matter of fact. Flotter still working with it, kicks back out to the outside, and that's going to be another travel, that time going against Easton Hinch.
Just forgot to put it on the floor before you took the steps. That's one of the, I would say, probably the easiest way to commit one of those travels right there.
Looks like an official might have also issued a warning at some point. Was pointing towards a Van player. Couldn't exactly make out who he was pointing out, but then was talking to the coaching staff in the side table there. So keep an eye on that. As Sims now going to dive into the paint, has to give back up to Perk. Perk gives right back to Sims and gets the bunny. So that one wasn't quite as pretty, but it'll look just as good in the scorebook.
Unfortunately, I couldn't catch much of that as Luke Carter just completely took himself out of the play on offense as he stood over here at half court. His defender and himself were completely in the way of my camera shot.
Well, sometimes that happens, especially from right here down on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
As the inside pass somehow ends up with Flotter, and he's going to be fouled. But, yeah, no, JD, if you were of course you were with me, but if anybody was here for the girls' game, I apologize about 8 times for my camera work. Trust me. It is one of those things that is a lot more difficult whenever you're actually doing it than it is, in theory. First shot there for Flotter, no good from the free throw line. By the way, that foul went against Caden Penland. That was his first of the ball game.
That's one thing about Caden is rarely is he ever caught with those fouls. His defense is so good that he plays, but somehow he is able to keep it so clean.
He's a quarterback, man. He's smart.
There you go.
He's not one of those dumb offensive linemen like us. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Here is Perkins with it. Goes baseline. Tried to get the kiss. How about that? A little offensive rebound and second chance points there for Ty Perkins. Threw it off the glass, got the rebound and the points. That is a full Monty there. As now Van looking to score back on the other end. Jones almost lost it, but somehow able to keep on to it. Now Rowe gives up to Moffitt. Moffitt, nice little inside pass. Gibbs almost stepped in front of it, but just too much heat, as it really was a spectacular pass from that angle. It was going to be right in the shooting bucket if Gibbs didn't get right in the way. Going to be offensive foul here going against Caden Rowe as he runs through Perk. And Perk ends up hitting the ground hard. And that is not a flop. That was true. I heard the bones hit the ground, JD.
This is something very interesting. For the third play in a row now, Mr. Luke Carter is just standing over here at the half-court line as arguably one of your best offensive players is just letting everybody else do the work.
That was almost another spectacular move. That time, Caden Penland. But, yeah, I was right there with you. I was focusing, so it's almost there's some cat and mouse going on here with Luke Carter and Easton Hinch. Luke looking back at the student section because the student section a little confused as well.
I guess Luke has decided tonight he wants to be known for the defense rather than the threes that we saw him nail in the last time that these two teams played each other.
Well, Luke is a very smart basketball player, but that father of his sitting about 20 feet to his right, he is he's something special in the basketball IQ department, as Penland got the first one to go down. But I wouldn't put it past old Coach Tracy Carter to have that little card up his sleeve. Got something he's working on.
Both free throws nailed for Penland. He's still perfect from the charity stripe.
12 points now as well. So here is Gibbs working against Moffitt, as you saw. Hinch now with it, has his pass knocked away. Are they going to say it goes off Gibbs? No. So called it in the girls' game and said there was one off of us. Got to be honest, that time looked like Dalen might have been the last one to touch it. But from the zebra angle, it went out on Van. So Van really going to have to figure something out here offensively. Only 8 points with only 2.5 minutes to go in the first half of action. So Perk sent a little pass inside to Penland. Penland gives right back out to Sims. Sims going to try and get into the paint. Gives back to Perk. Perk trying to find some space and go through. Little spinorama, no good, but collected by Gibbs. He has his shot blocked and eventually ends up in the hands of Devin Davis. Davis will then be fouled by Dalen. And that will now be Dalen's second foul, and he will have to go to the bench. And Jaden Collin going to be coming in for him. Moffitt going the other way now. Gives over to Hinch. Hinch right back to, that is Rowe. Rowe with a nice little feed back over to Raleigh. Raleigh trying to find somewhere, tries to get the pass into Rowe. It was taken away. Perkins now pushing it up the other way. Sims with it, going to take an open three. Oh!
Got it!
Bangs around and down for Carter Sims. How many times we see that? And Luke Carter giving a heck of an effort on the inbound pass there. Again, it took quite a comeback from the Panthers to beat this Van team last time. So it looks like they're trying to put an exclamation on this early. Jones missed the three, but there was a quick whistle back on the other way as Raleigh Hinch ended up on the ground.
Here to catch Carter Sims with a push.
So will be his first foul. Will be the fourth team foul, so one more will put Van on the line for the remaining 1:36 in the quarter. Inbound to Hinch. Corner three, no good, but Rowe able to get the collection and go right back up for an and one opportunity. Well, gets the shot to go down, I should say first. Now we'll have an and one opportunity. Foul going to be assessed to, apologize, didn't see who they actually ended up giving the foul to.
I think they gave it to Perkins, yeah.
And shot no good, collected off the glass by the good Reverend who came in for Perk. So now Luke Carter with it. First time we've seen the ball in his hands in a while. Now Sims with it. Kicks over to the good Reverend. Rev trying to find somewhere. Nice pass over to Colin. That was a good catch by Colin. That thing was on a rocket.
That was a heater.
So Penland now going to try and go baseline. Finds Colin wide open. Now Luke Carter with it. Back over to Colin. Back over to Luke. Kind of working it around here as now Sims tries to go baseline. Now Penland from around the three-point line. No good. Second chance effort. And that is the specialty of one Rev Neighbors. Offensive rebound, goes right back up quickly, gets the 2 points. Now Van trying to quickly answer as Mabank going to get a nice little steal. It was Luke Carter who knocked it away, ended up in the hands of, I believe, Penland, and now foul back on the other end. Didn't quite see the call. Apologize.
Number 15 going to get caught with a hold, I believe, Mr. Cameron Jones. Sorry, no, with a block.
So 34 seconds to go. Jaden Collins just got it across half court, kicks over to Sims. Sims right back to Collins.
As they're going to waste as much of this as they can.
They are. And Luke going to go in for the bunny and the and one.
Beautiful move by Mr. Luke Carter.
I mean, just put it on a tray for him. And one shot coming up here for the lefty. And shot is good. Still going to keep pressing here is Luke Carter. Nope, Dad's going to tell him to fall back. Going to be working against Jones. Here is Raleigh Hinch, and going to be a foul. I believe they're saying Colin. Yes, so Colin going to get called for the foul. That will be his first, but that will send Van to the free throw line. 2 shots coming up here.
Man, I hadn't looked at the score in a while. A 20-point lead for Mabank right now.
You get behind that camera and things just, your life perception just kind of changes, doesn't it?
Like my life is a square, a little rectangle right now, man.
It really is.
That was why that was why Gibbs running straight at me earlier was so terrifying.
As you hear the Mabank faithful over there giving it to Rowe as he can't get the shots to go down, but another foul going to be called.
Penland got a little excited there, slammed the ball a little bit hard on the ground. He saw the face as he handed it off to the ref. He was trying not to get called for anything.
Unfortunately, he will be called for the common foul there. And Hinch got a couple of shots. First one, I mean, that hit the back corner and somehow just died with the back rotation and went down. I was about to say bounces off the back of the rim, so I saw how hard that was going, but that thing just died on that rim. I've never seen that.
That was a shot.
And second one will hit nothing but the bottom, but yeah, no, that English that he had, that backspin, somehow worked out for him. As Gibbs almost travels, but able to get it up over to Luke Carter, gives up to Sims, wide open 3 in the corner, no good. And that is the way the half will end. Well, a little less drama so far in this one. Again, needed a big comeback in that first game, but so far Mabank in pretty smooth control, 30-12. JD, we played it at the girls game, but again, we're just trying to get it out to as many people. I really enjoyed my chance to get to sit down with the new athletic director and head football coach of the Mabank Panthers, Coach Sean Copeland. So just wanted to, this is our first game we've had since I did the interview, so just wanted to go ahead and take the chance, let everybody out there know who the new man in charge is and get a little interview done with him. So if you're watching both the boys and girls game, you know, it may be a good time for you to go get a snack or something like that. You've already seen this during the girls game. But if you weren't here for the girls game, buckle in. We have got the first ever and the exclusive interview with the new man in charge of Mabank Athletics, Coach Sean Copeland.
All right, Taylor Honea, Cedar Creek Media, hanging out with the new head honcho of the Mabank Panthers, Coach Sean Copeland. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Good morning, Taylor. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, well, thank you for coming in and taking over the program and spending a little bit of time with us this morning. So, Coach, I know you've been asked this question about 10,000 times, so let's just go ahead and put it out there for the public, okay?
Gotcha.
Coach, what kind of offense are we running next year?
We are running the spread. But good news, I spread people out to run it down their throat. And so that's what we like to do.
Absolutely. I like it. So we'll just get that one out of the way because that's going to be the first question everybody's asking. So let's get it out of the way. But so, Coach, tell us a little bit about your tenure as a coach. Kind of give us some broad strokes and things, how you got started, what you kind of molded you into becoming an athletic director.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. So, all through college, I wanted to be an AD, head football coach. That was kind of the dream. And so I started my career out at Nevada Community, spent 5 years there, made my way over to Rockwall Heath to become the head varsity track coach there. Left after 1 year because I had the opportunity to go be a varsity quarterbacks coach up at McKinney High. Got to do a lot of things there, had JV, had freshmen, got to coach some great players while I was there. And then the Lord called me to Phoenix, Arizona, my family and I, to help plant a church. We went out there to physically and financially help the church for 1 year was the game plan, and then come back to Texas football, of course. And we spent 8 years out there. Whole time I was out there, I coached and I taught every year. I spent 6 years as a head varsity football coach at 2 different schools. Got a call right at the beginning of summer that Spring Hill in Longview, Texas was looking for an assistant athletic director, football coach, and powerlifting coach. And I accepted that position because that's where I grew up, not at Spring Hill, but in Longview. And have spent the past 4 years there, and now I'm blessed to be here in Mabank, Texas.
That's great. So, over at Spring Hill, you were the strength and speed coach and athletic director, right?
Correct.
So,
people at Spring Hill were like, you're just the athletic director? What do you coach? Well, I coach strength and speed.
Right.
And then so I did that for all of our programs, 6th grade all the way up through the varsity.
Awesome. So what made you want to jump back into the head coaching of football? You know what I mean? Don't dive back in here.
For sure. I think I could have honestly stayed at Spring Hill forever as their athletic director. I had great support, great people to work with, great community. There was always, for me, it was always, will I ever get back into being a head football coach? And I did see that. And I started probably about a year and a half ago, towards the end of 2 football seasons ago, I started really getting the itch to get back into being a head football coach. Part of that decision to move on it so quickly was I had a son that's going to be a senior next year. That how was I going to look at him one day and say, hey, the only years your dad didn't coach football was the years you were in high school. And so I wanted the opportunity to be able to coach him. God willing, I'm a big man of faith, and so I'm listening to what God wants me to do, and this opportunity just was incredible. Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, speaking of family, if you don't mind, if we switch it over that way for a second. So I know you've got a lovely wife and a couple of kids, so what can you tell us about your family?
Gotcha. So Lisa, she actually started yesterday here at Mabank teaching speech.
Oh, okay.
So that was just a God thing. I'd come up to visit the coaches one day, and the night before, Mr. Rowland called me up and said, hey, my speech teacher just left us. Does your wife want to teach? I didn't even know Lisa was certified to teach speech. I mean, she's an English teacher, but she was like, yes, I would love to do that. And so we were able to get her here. I have a daughter that's a freshman in college. She's planning on being a theater teacher.
Oh.
She was a multi-sport athlete, but theater was her thing. She says I kind of held her back not moving her to Hollywood or Florida. And so, no, she's thriving. She's incredible. And of course, my son Jackson, he's a junior this year, plays football, has done track a lot of times, but right now going into his senior year, he really wants to focus on his football development and of course being at a new school and making new friends and things like that. He's super excited.
Tell you what, that's a good-looking kid you got over there. He looks like he'll be fun to watch on the football field. Mr. Sean does.
Yes, yeah. I've kind of started preparing him for the pressure of that, but just told him at the end of the day, I said, nobody's going to be harder on you than your dad, but nobody's going to love you more than your dad. So.
Absolutely. And that's all, that's that's good to hear. You know what I mean? You love to hear stuff like that, and it tells you how much passion you have going towards the game. So this is going on your second week, or you're in your second week of being here with us, Coach. So have you had a chance to really get a tour the facilities? What have you thought about what you have to work with here in Mabank?
Gotcha. Yes, sir. I'm very excited about what I've got to work with. I love the setup that we have. Is it the perfect setup? No, we all want the indoor facilities. We want the turf practice fields. But I know that comes with us taking care of our part. If we start doing those things, the community will be more supportive to providing that. But I'm one of those, I make the most of anything. And so I'm excited about what we have set up here. There's some small changes that I'm making to fit what I need to get done in the off season and things like that. But for the most part, we have a good setup. If the weather would help us out a little bit, the coldness has kind of put us in some facility issues, but we're all making it work, and our coaches are working really hard.
So the guys already going through your off-season program? Have you already folded your off-season program in?
We have, yes, sir. So we jumped on that day one.
Okay.
And so, and the coaches have been real receptive to it, learning it, trying to learn it on the run, just like the kids are trying to learn it on the run. And so, yes, sir.
Perfect. Well, all right, we'll get you out of here on this, Coach. So anything that you wanted to just particularly say to the community, any famous first words, as anybody would say, or anything like that?
Gotcha. I'm not a big man on speeches, but just know this. I'm very excited to be a Mabank Panther, and I'm also super excited to build a relationship with everyone. And so that's what I'm about. I'm about the relational piece. I'm going to love up on these kids. I'm going to hold them accountable. I'm going to coach them hard in between the lines. But yes, I'm excited to be a Panther, and let's go Panthers.
Perfect. Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and can't wait for a Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Taylor.
Hey Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doublekphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics. And back here to it, Cedar Creek Media, as always, Taylor Honea,
JD Byrd.
and we are happy to have you here with us. It is a 30-12 advantage for your Mabank Panthers coming out of the halftime. It's going to be the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Carter, doing the inbounding. After this one, folks, still got 4 games left in the regular season. Got Lindale on Friday, Kemp next Tuesday, Athens next Friday, and then Brownsboro to end out the season on the 11th. We still got plenty of basketball left in this one before we start worrying about that. As now Luke Carter going to have it over in the corner, get right back to Sims. Sims trying to find somewhere to go, gives over to Luke. Luke right back to Carter. Bang!
Got it!
I'm telling you, I'm getting to where I can read the shot off of Carter Sims' hand and can call it when it's midway in the air. That one looked beautiful right as soon as it left his fingertips. Now here is Flaughter with it, kicks over to, that was Rowe, got into Moffitt, or excuse me, that was Hinch. Hinch couldn't get the little turnaround bunny as Penland has to chase it down. Does a good job to get it to Gibbs, and Gibbs throws it off the feet there of Easton Hinch. So a couple of high IQ and effort plays happening back-to-back there between the seniors, Dalen Gibbs and Caden Penland. It's going to be another senior in Big Perk there that did the inbounding. Now Luke with the ball, kicks over to Caden. Caden thought about the free throw line shot, now going to drive in, gives over to Sims. Sims going to be pushed. Was worried they were going to call a travel because his feet did start to move, but it was the push that caused the off-balanceness, or
That's
whatever you want to say. Inbound to Gibbs. Go down, go down!
Got it!
Oh, my goodness.
What
Chop
an
that one up.
athletic play that was.
Go ahead and mark that one down. What time we got here? Put that on the highlight reel. My goodness. One more coming up here for Mr. Gibbs. That one good too. Dalen Gibbs getting 3 points the tough way. Now here is Raleigh Hinch with it. Kicks back over to Flaughter. Flaughter over to Easton Hinch. Now Rowe going to take a deep three, and he gets that one to bang around and go down. So better showing here quickly for the Vandals. They're going to say, I believe they're going to say Luke Carter stepped out of bounds. He did while he had the ball. So will be a turnover there for the Panthers. It's going to be Proctor bringing it down for the Vandals. Just loses it, but somehow Raleigh Hinch able to save it. Going to be a jump ball there. Battle of the zeros. Gibbs tied up Hinch. Let's see, possession arrow is with the Vandals, so it will stay with the gentleman in white and red. So this is Moffitt, who is into the ball game. Came in for Proctor there. Working against Gibbs. Kicks over to Easton Hinch, right back to Flaughter. Now Moffitt again working. Hinch trying to drive in, kicks over to Raleigh. Now Rowe. So again, Van just not having much success. They finally get it inside. That will be the second emphatic block of the ball game for Dalen Gibbs. And Dalen Gibbs is basically walking around with an S on his chest right now.
Yeah, he is feeling himself to start this second half.
Easton Hinch trying a little off the back there of Luke Carter. Tried to toss it off the back of Luke, get it and go right back up. Luke actually picks up a foul in the process. So it will be 2 shots coming up here for Easton Hinch. First one, bananas around the rim and will not go down. Coach Carter over asking for an explanation on the sideline right now as well. And second one does fall down. Kind of a knuckleball shot for Easton Hinch, but he did get it to work for him. Here is Gibbs with it, kicks over to Perk. Perk trying to find some space. Now Gibbs trying to work on the smaller Moffitt. Tried to split it between, but Moffitt did a good job to step in front, cut off the dive there. Now ball in the hands of Penland, kind of falls away. Can't get the lovely little bounce to go down. But again, 12 points in the first half, so would be expecting Cade to keep shooting. He's feeling it as Hinch puts a 3 up, no good. Again, kind of a strange, almost like 45-degree rotation. I don't even know how to explain it, but very weird spin comes off the hands of Hinch as Rowe can't get the 3 to go down, but Flaughter able to get the shot to go up and the second chance points in. And that is the coach there, Van. Not exact. I think it's on the bottom. I'm going to steal your sheet for 1 second. What was his name? The head coach over here, Austin Fleming. of the Vandals decides to take a little timeout. It was just a short variety. But really, honestly, from what we saw from Van in the first half, I mean, it took them forever to finally get to the double-digit point mark. Matter of fact, that's where they were at halftime. It was a 30-10 advantage. So they've already put up 8 points here somewhat quickly in this third quarter. So, I mean, again, with it only being about midway through the third quarter, you don't want to say, too little too late. So there's definitely still plenty of time left on this clock, as we saw in that first game.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever we were down like this, and our guys ended up coming back. But if you are going to start making the comeback, you got to start making it here pretty quick if you're the Vandals. All right, so Luke and Perk going to work something down here in the little two-man game. They got Devin Davis stuck in between them. Got to get it across here pretty quickly as Luke almost lost it, but does a good job to get it up to Perk. Now ball in the hands of Sims. Kicks back to Gibbs, finds Luke for a little bunny.
Goodness gracious.
And Luke just knew where he was, about 6 feet away from the bucket, and able to just turn around and flip it right up. Didn't even really need to aim. That is the kind of basketball player Luke Carter is. He just kind of knows where he's at on the court at all times. Now this is Rowe going to kick over to Raleigh. Raleigh trying to find somewhere to go. Went back to Rowe. Rowe working against Perkins. Going to try and get inside. Foul is going to be called. I believe that is going to be Perk's third or fourth. I actually don't have Perkins up on the board.
I think they're actually going to catch Penland there with that one.
Oh, they did get Penland. So that will be his third. Shot no good for Rowe. Jaden Collins standing up, but it looks like they're going to wait to substitute after the next dead ball here. Second shot by Rowe is good. 38-19. A little under 5 to go here in this third quarter as Perkins does a good job to find a spot. Kicks over to Sims. Sims, good.
Golly bum.
You leave Carter Sims alone in a corner, he is going to get that shot to go down. Is now Van trying to search for answers back on the other end. Easton going to try and go in against Luke Carter, and they're going to say Luke got the elbow. It was a very late call. Luke is disgusted with it. Can't say that I necessarily blame him. If you're going to call that, you got to call it in the heat of the moment, because it looked like he kind of sat and thought about it for a second before making the call. So first shot for Hinch, no good. And again, if you feel like you're hearing Hinch a lot, you are hearing double, as there are two Hinches on this team, Raleigh and Easton. Second one also no good there for Easton, but collected by Rowe. Now in the hands of Raleigh, going to take a deep three. That one no good, offline. And Gibbs almost comes away with the rebound, but somehow Rowe able to get it and go right up and over to get an easy 2 points there. So not something you see too much. Dalen going to be bringing the ball up here. Now Carter Sims with it, kicks up to Perkins. Perkins' pass was tipped, but Gibbs still gets it. Penland shuffle, no good. And looks like there is going to be a foul called. Yeah, Rowe. Well, if you're going to do it one way, do it the other.
Do it the other.
So it was a late whistle, but we can agree. So 2 shots coming up here for the senior. First one off front rim, no good.
I believe that's his first missed free throw tonight.
I do believe so as well, but JD, I'm going to hack and a fraud. I can't, I'm not as good as you. I can't do all the points and talk all at the same time.
I didn't get a great job. During halftime, luckily I was given the first class service, and one of the ladies hanging around here was able to go and get me a picture of the book. It's right there. Nice effort play there from Carter Sims.
Yeah, second chance buckets are big. And that was a real big one right there. Just looking over to the sideline, looks like the good Reverend will be coming in here shortly as Moffitt takes a three, no good. But Davis able to collect it underneath the rim and go right back up. Now Luke with the ball in his hand. kicks over to Gibbs. Gibbs still trying to find somewhere to work. Gives back to Luke. Now feed into Penland. Gibbs, tried to kiss it off the glass. Couldn't get it, but second chance points. Again coming through, Caden Penland. Should be, I believe, 15 points now, 14 points now for Penland. As Raleigh going to try and dive in. Couldn't get the shot to go down. Great defense there by Jaden Collin. As Penland going to sacrifice his body there. Fighting with Easton Hinch. And they did call a jump ball. Okay, I was making sure I saw what I saw, so.
Looked like he was calling a foul on Flaughter, actually.
Huh. Okay.
And yeah, that was the call, as the possession arrow hadn't changed.
Oh yeah, now I do see that third foul on Flaughter on the board as Carter
What a
Sims
move.
having himself a night tonight.
Carter Sims with 18.
Yeah, that's 8 points in the quarter for Carter Sims. Now Raleigh Hinch with it, trying to find somewhere to go. Nice feed inside to Flaughter, who just puts one literally straight up. Couldn't have been more 90 degrees if you wanted it to be. As going to be a over and back. Coach Carter giving Luke the business. And I tell you what, some coaches' kids, you know, they get the benefit of the doubt and things like that. Luke Carter does not get that with his father. Coach Tracy Carter is going to be on Luke like white on rice.
It's like referees discussing something here.
Still talk going on here.
I'm going to grab the other one and make it a group meeting.
So, still waiting on a call here. It looks like
nothing.
All right.
They're just discussing.
Well, taking a little time, get the call in, as long as you get it right. Now, I'm not going to lie, I didn't see exactly what happened, so I can't make a judgment call one way or the other, but now Flaughter going to be called away from the ball, so an off-ball foul for Flaughter. They said he used his arms to push an opponent back behind him. So that will now be his fourth, so he only has one left to go here. As Perkins now with the ball, gives over to Colin. Colin over to Luke Carter. Carter over to Carter Sims. Right back to Luke. Now Jaden with it. Luke, little jab step. Working against Hinch. Now going to find some space. Kicks it out. Here's Perk. A little spin. Little Penland shuffle. And it goes down with the nasty spin. So Perkins learning a little something from his buddy down there underneath, Caden Penland. As you notice, Penland was the one clapping the loudest, saying, yeah, that's pretty nice there, buddy. Actually got the chance, me and JD, we went out to Whataburger there in town after the last game. What was it, last Friday, right? So
yes,
we were
sir.
out there, and Perk walked in, got a chance to sit there and talk with him. And, you know, if you're the young man that was with Ty Perkins at that Whataburger, I'm not sure if it was like a brother or a friend or anything. I barely spoke a word to you. I'm sorry. It was a real good basketball game that had just happened, so I was talking to Perkins. If you're that young man out there, I'm sorry, buddy. I should have said hello at least to you. You were sitting right there next to Ty, and again, I was just kind of, you know me, I like my, I'm a big sports guy. So
You're like fangirling.
I kind of got fangirled a little bit talking to Perkins for sure. So here he goes, couple of shots coming up. And that one is good.
Just the one.
Oh, it's just the one. I'm sorry. It was an and one. I apologize. That's
to complete
correct.
the three-point play.
That is right.
The hard way.
So here is Moffitt working with it. Gives over to Jones. His shot, no good. Collected by Luke. Now Luke going to push it back the other way. Luke gaining a little speed here, a little hesitation, going right at the new man inside. That is number 21, Ryder Savage, who came in to fill the role of Flotter, who again with those 4 fouls is going to have to.
Luke going to pick up his 3rd.
Oh, Luke picked up a foul. I didn't even see that. You got a good call there. So Luke has had a little bit of foul trouble over the last couple of games. Here is Raleigh with it. Kicks way across over to Jones. Jones 3. High off the pipe. No foul, or excuse me, no out of bounds call. Saw it a couple of times during the girls' game. Luke wanting a foul, but does not get it. Now ball in the hands of Perkins. Perkins going to dive in. Little flip shot. That was just a desperation flare shot. But he is fouled, so it is 2 more coming up here for Big Perk. First one no good. So 5 points here so far for Ty. Trying to even it up at 6. And, oh, man, just a little strong. We talk about Bailey Litchfield on the girls' side. Oh.
Gibbs going to get caught with a push right there.
Oh, that will be
and
the
with
5th.
That, it's in the bonus.
Yeah. Well, we talk about Litchfield all the time and how flat her shot is for the Lady Panthers, but I think Perkins is just about as close to the same trajectory as
now,
Bailey.
Completely different shot release.
Right.
Yet somehow just about the same outcome.
As Easton Hinch
Flat
able
as
to get
an
the
arrow.
first one to go down. That is exactly right. The second one will kiss off the rim, no good. And Gibbs had the ball in his hand but was hit pretty hard there by Savage. They say ball actually touched off Savage before going out of bounds. So here's Colin with it. Him and Perkins just kind of running a 2-man game. Got to get it across quickly. Get it up to Gibbs. Gibbs trying to go in. Splits a couple. Can't get the shot to go down. That was a nice little follow-up attempt there, but no good. Now Gibbs again with it. Open in the corner. That one no good as well. And so a couple of chances. Panthers can't get it to go down, but it's still a 50-26 advantage. After 3 quarters, let's go ahead and take a short break. We'll be right back with the 4th quarter of action right after this.
Parks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
So it is a 50-26 advantage for your Panthers going into the 4th quarter. Again, as always, I'm Taylor Honea.
I'm J.D. Byrd.
And we are Cedar Creek Media. Happy to have you here on board. Mabank looking to complete the sweep of the Vandals for the 2024-25 basketball season. Holding on to a 50-26 advantage, like I said. Now, it was a thriller the last time these two played. Mabank had to come from behind, ended up winning it 70-64, if memory serves right. Going to need some late game heroics here from the Vandals if we're going to see something like that again. It's a nice backdoor cut. Ends in 2 points for Jaden Collin. That was a perfect little find there for Carter Sims. Now Collin working defense back on the other end. Now here is Jones with it. Kicks over to Hinch. Hinch trying to find somewhere to go. feeds inside to Rowe. Rowe backing down Perkins, and let's see what the foul is going to be. They are going to call it defensively against Perk. That will now be his 4th, I do believe. So going to need Ty to calm things down a bit, and inside feed to Rowe is good, and that was exactly what we were just talking about with Perkins. He was about to commit a foul, realized what he was doing, and just let the man go, especially nursing that 24-point advantage. No reason to worry about it. So Perkins now with it, working against Jones. Gives over to Carter Sims. Sims quietly working on getting close to a 20-point game as this pass going to be taken away, and Rowe going to break away. Looked like he thought about dunking it. We saw him doing it in the pregame plenty, but decided to just go with the finger roll. Now Collin with it. Going to be working against Moffitt. Gives up to Gibbs. Gibbs going to be working against Moffitt as well on that zone. So Vandals running that 2-3 zone as Perkins feeds inside to the good Reverend. Has his shot affected. No good. And now Rowe going to come back, put up a 3 on the other end. Well short. Collected deep by Jones, gives to Moffitt, over to Rowe, and trying to get it over to Hinch. Collin will step in front, gets it up to the good Reverend, gives to Gibbs. Gibbs with the finger roll, no good. Just going a little bit too quick. And Raleigh Hinch ends up dribbling the ball out of bounds. So that will be an unforced error by the Vandals. Or no, they're going to say a timeout's called. So yeah, timeout going to be called.
Timeout.
So
of the full variety.
It is the full variety. Tell you what, let's take a. So, not to irritate everybody listening, so JD, we were talking about it a little bit in the truck on the way up here. My goodness. What is Jerry Jones thinking? I mean, it is hard to be a Cowboys fan right now, JD.
Absolutely.
I mean, so if you've been living under a rock, Brian Schottenheimer has been hired to be the Cowboys head coach with 0 qualifications. So all I'm going to say is I've got a platform. It's not a very big one, but I do have a platform, so I just want to go ahead and add on to the fire of media people saying, Jerry, you're crazy. So while I had the time to do it, I figured I'd go ahead and get it out of the way.
There you go. Got it off your chest.
My goodness. I'm telling you, I'm about this close to becoming a Texans fan. All right, 6 minutes left to go here. Here is Jaden Collin coming down. Going to be working against Rowe. Actually, Easton Hinch going to step up to double team. Does a good job to get it out to Gibbs. Gibbs' pass to Sims wasn't very crisp, but he gets it to stay. Little step back move there for Dalen, but no good. Looked really good doing it, but collected by Collin. Now here's a deep 3 for Luke Carter. Finds nothing but the bottom. Luke Carter only 8 points now tonight, but been a rather impressive showing for him as Collin just kind of gets it away and will be fouled by Moffitt. So that's 2 shots coming up for him. So, yeah, we're used to seeing Luke, out there just bombing, but he has really kind of played the distraction card tonight. As you're talking about at one point hanging out around half court, but you have to respect him. He's kind of like that Steph Curry of this team where he really can shoot from anywhere, so you can't leave him alone no matter where he's at. So the first shot is good. Friendly bounce goes down for Jaden Collin as the good Reverend going to get a break here. We'll send senior Caden Penland back out.
Everybody likes scoring points, but Mr. Jaden Collin, where he finds his happiness is whenever he's playing defense.
Absolutely.
And he is so phenomenal at it.
So ball ended up out of bounds off of Luke Carter. He didn't agree, but that is what they say. So here goes Van back the other way as Moffitt kind of spins around, worked off that double screen, trying to find somewhere to go, gives to Jones. Jones going to drive in, have his shot. Oh, they're going to say Gibbs was fouled. or fouled. Not was fouled, but did the fouling. So that will be Dalen's 4th, so only one left to go for him. 2 shots coming up here for Jones. First one is good. Speaking of unusual shooting styles, based on the angle that you have, you can't really see it truly, but Jones almost has the ball in one hand and pushes it off with the other. Interesting, as Luke Carter does a good job of boxing out. Gives the ball to Colin. He's going to have to split a couple and gives over to Luke Carter. Fall away, no good. Tipped in by Carter Sims, and you will end up seeing that one on the highlight package, my friends.
Just a lot of fantastic plays here from the Panthers tonight.
I mean, he's kind of like what we talked about with Kendall Woods. He is deceptively hoppy. You know what I mean? Carter Sims can really get up there. And he's got, it seems like his arm length is about a foot longer than his actual height. So he just got those pterodactyl wings out there for arms.
You know, usually we say this about Luke Carter, but tonight it's Carter Sims. One of the quietest 20-point games.
23
points that we've seen so far. Now the crowd finally getting into it as the big 3 hits away again for Sims.
Well, Luke last Friday had 31 against Canton, so Carter Sims now just wanting to get his comeuppance here, see if he can get him a 30-point ball game. Fed inside to Rowe, and Gibbs taking it as a challenge. Now that is going to be the 5th foul for Dalen.
No, I think they actually put it on Carter Sims right there.
Okay, so he must have stepped up and took the foul.
Smart move.
Yeah, it was a very smart move. As Gibbs, the challenge of Rowe. Now, Rowe is about, I would say, hair withstanding, probably about 2 to 3 inches taller than Gibbs. And Gibbs is just, I mean, attacking him like a mountain. No fear whatsoever. And look, matter of fact, takes the band out of the hair, says long hair, don't care. We're about to let it flow here, baby. Now with the ball, going to kick over, was getting a little squirrely. Ended up out of bounds. But again, 29-point advantage here for your Panthers. So, but with that 7-man bench, unfortunately, you can't rest your starters here, JD.
No.
That is going to be one of the biggest bugaboos for this team, is figuring out how to keep going forward with only, 7 players. Now, admittedly, we did get to get in here and watch the JV a little bit. I don't have rosters. I really want to say that one young man, number 24 for the JV, that has to be a Penland. I mean, it just, especially as I'm sitting here looking at his big brother now, I mean, that had to have been a Penland. He looked pretty good. Number 23 down there on the JV team looked pretty good as well. So maybe a couple of potential call-ups for the playoff run,
Absolutely. And, of course, everybody on that team played really well. So get you kind of excited about the future here in Mabank in terms of basketball.
They need it. They're going to lose quite a few guys off of this team next year. Get it in here, do the Vandals. This is Rowe going to be working against Gibbs, and Gibbs, as you see, just so fiery, does not want to allow Rowe to score, as Van ends up turning it over. And now here's Gibbs, and shot, I believe, was blocked off the backboard. And a good job by Van to come back on the other end and throw it off of the Panthers. We will have substitution, as that is number 13, Seth Long, coming out. In place, number 10, Cash Walker, coming in. Going to be a carry called as the Vandals try and get it across half court. So it will be a turnover, and Panthers will take over possession. Here is Colin. Gives back over to Luke. Luke going to be working against Rowe here. Looks like Luke ready to do a little bit of work, get a little bit of run in here in the lateness. Colin with it now, going to kick in, gives over to Luke. Luke thought about that deep 3, and he's not scared to shoot it. Puts up a 3 off balance, and gets to go down, so gets up into the double-digit point club with 11 now. That's going to be a block by Jaden Collin. Trying to act like he didn't do anything, but Jaden, I saw that one, Bubba. That was the old bump and run right there. Looks like we've got some substitutions coming out for Van. So you got Raleigh Hinch, you got Walker, you've got number 23, Jet Stanfield, and number 21, Savage. Stanfield able to hit the 3. And I'm missing one, I'm sorry. Cale Carter, number 11, Cale Carter also out there. So second squad in for the Vandals. Now here is Collin with it, going to try and go in by himself. Danced around on the back of the rim, but does not go down. Foul is going to be called against number 23. That is Jet Stanfield. 2 shots coming up here for the lefty, Jaden Collin. First one, rolls around, does not go down. Kind of got hung on the corner of the rim and the backboard there for a second. That was weird. The good Reverend will be out to the ball game. And second shot, no good for Jaden.
Ooh. Collin going to get caught with another foul right there.
And that will put Van on the line for a couple of shots here. And it will be number 10, Cash Walker, doing the shooting. First one up and good. And second one off front rim and ends up out of bounds. Last touch by Van. I believe Savage was the last one to get a piece of it. So Mabank look like they are happy to slow things down just a bit here. You know Coach Carter is not above calling the four-corner offense, but Van going to come out and attack. Now Luke going to take a deep 3. No good. So Luke smelling himself just a little bit there. Shot that one from about 8 feet behind three-point range. It's the good thing about us being on YouTube. I've got kind of an automatic replay going here. Let me see what I say. Yeah, I'll say that's a good 6 feet behind the line there. That was pretty nutty there, Luke. As now the Vandals going to work around the three-point line. Davis gave over to the corner. Rise and scoring there is number 13, Seth Long. First we've called of him tonight, at least in the scoring bracket. Now Dalen with the ball. Going to try and get it through a couple of defenders. Floater, no good. So again, Dalen just trying to get some work here, it looks like. Getting a little training in here in the fourth quarter. Vandals working it around the three-point line. That's Long again, going to dive in, and the little floater there goes in for Seth. Got 4 points off the last 2 possessions for the Vandals. Showing a little bit of life here for this team. Apologies, I don't have like the classes and stuff, so I would assume he's kind of a younger guy getting a little chance to play. Making the most of his opportunities. Because now, right at a minute to go, Jaden Collin with a nice little crossover. Now going to give over to Gibbs. And Mabank going to be happy to run the 4 corners and get out of here. So while they're running that around, let's go ahead and again give you the rundown here. So this win is going to move your Mabank Panthers to 15-7 for the year. Will make their district record 5-3. It's going to drop Van to 18-11 for the season, 3-6 in District 15 play. 4 games left on the slate after the 30 seconds runs out of this one, JD. Got Friday, you got Lindale coming into town. Got Kemp on the 4th of February. Athens in Athens on the 7th, and then Brownsboro at our place to finish out the season on February 11th. So it is going to be a 64-40 win for your Mabank Panthers, and they will complete the season sweep of the Vandals. Well, I'm going to send us to a quick break. We're going to go find somebody to interview, and we'll be right back right after this. Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices.
Barks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doublekphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics. All right, so here we are, Cedar Creek Media, hanging out with a couple of the leaders of the pack here, and Carter Sims and Dalen Gibbs. So, guys, first of all, let's just go ahead and talk about the defense. So we're going to start with you, Dalen. We're used to seeing you kind of fill it up in the points category tonight. Not as many points as we normally see from you, but I mean just the best defensive effort I think we've seen all season. I mean, let's be honest, man. There was a couple of really tall guys over there for Van.
Yes, sir.
It looked like you were trying to climb some trees out there,
Yes,
bro.
sir. Yes, sir.
So just tell us, man, what was the focus, the mentality tonight coming out and playing defense?
Just coach put me on the biggest player on every team, and I just prove him that I can guard him, and that's really it.
And so what do you think it is about, is it just the athleticism? Is it the smarts? I mean, is it the combination? I mean, what is it that makes you so dangerous?
I've been playing this game for a long time, and it's just natural. I don't know, that's what it is.
Absolutely. And now you also had a couple of really nice assists tonight, filling it up for this guy over here.
Yes, sir.
Ended up with 23 points. So what did you think from your big shooter tonight?
We always talk about giving him the ball and Luke Carter, and, we just talk about, and he's the best shooter that we got. And I just give him the ball when I need to.
I'm telling you, you need a clutch bucket. There is one name that you can go to, and that is Carter Sims. So, Carter, man, it's always so fun to watch you play. And first of all, I want to know, is your wingspan like a foot taller than you actually are? Like, you seem like you have the longest arms in the world.
No, sir. I feel like my arms are actually short. It looks long. They look long because I'm skinny, but, they're actually short.
Mine are longer than his.
Okay, fair enough. I'm telling you, whenever you're up vertical in the air, man, it just looks like your arms are like 3 feet long apiece. It's insane, man. But so just kind of tell us, Carter, man, at the beginning of the game, points were a little bit hard to come by for both teams, kind of a low-scoring affair at first. And then all of a sudden, especially coming out in that third quarter, man, you were just on point. I mean, you hit a couple of big threes there in the third quarter and then followed it up with a couple of really nice buckets from inside. So what's kind of the mentality shift you had there at halftime?
Well, last time we played them at home, I couldn't hit a shot, I feel like, but I just had to come out different tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what is it, whenever you see somebody like Dalen, man, that's giving out 100% effort and really just going for it, what does that kind of do for you as a teammate?
It just makes me want to play harder and matches energy.
Absolutely, 100%. So, all right, guys, well, you've got a chance to right one of the wrongs of the season on Friday when Lindale comes into the house. So what's the focus for the rest of the week as you get prepared for Lindale on Friday?
Just get our get back. That's really all it is.
Yeah?
Sir, what he said.
Perfect. Well, all right, guys, y'all go celebrate this one with your team, and we will talk to you later on, all right?
Sir.
All right. Dalen Gibbs, Carter Sims, as always, two of the superstars of your Mabank Panthers. Well, JD, we had a fun night tonight. We got to see the sweep of the Vandals and Lady Vandals, both of them for the season series. So Mabank goes 4-0 against Van this season. And that's about as successful as you can hope to feel. Oh, I'm sorry. I turned you off.
I said it there,
My bad.
and then I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm
I can't
sorry.
hear
I
myself.
turned you off, too. My bad. Well, all right, JD, any bows or ribbons or anything you want to put on this one?
No, man, just both teams tonight, just fantastic job of getting out there in the start of it and getting a lead and then just controlling the pace of the game. That's something that both teams did very, very well tonight, is just control the pace at which the game was played. They forced Van to play their game. Of course, the last time that they were in our house, they were just hitting all their shots in the beginning. We went down early and had to try to fight back from that on the boys' side of things. Tonight, they got that lead early, and they said, okay, let's go win this ball game now. And they just did a fantastic job of not letting Van be able to settle into anything. They did a nice job of slowing the game down and completely controlling how the game was played.
Yes, sir, and that's what they're going to need to do on Friday is, again, they try and get revenge for the first district loss of the season that came to those Lindale Eagles. That's what they are. I had to think there for a second what they were. So chance at revenge on Friday. But other than that, we appreciate you all being here. We thank you all for tuning in and sticking with us. And until Friday, we'll see you next time, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. First time I've ran the board in a while, JD. It took a second.
This concludes tonight's broadcast on Cedar Creek Media. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again soon.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.